This is the Bloedel Reserve located on Bainbridge Island, about a 40-minute ferry ride from Seattle, downtown Seattle. And this is part of a 120-acre reserve that Mr. Prentice Bloedel has developed through 50 years and is now being opened to the general public. He acquired the property in 1955. Mr. Bloedel began to modify the property. He brought me on site about 1969 to review a project that had been started by Thomas Church, famous landscape architect from San Francisco. Mr. and Mrs. Bloedel had come from a trip in Europe, and they had noticed these pools, very simple pools in, I think, the French landscape, and talked to Thomas Church about it. And Neil Twalker, I think, actually picked out this site. And they came in and dug a hole and built this concrete rim around here, and the area around it was just a construction site, just terrible. And then it sat that way for several years, and then Mr. Bloedel retained me and said, what are we going to do with this unfinished landscape? So I thought about it, and I thought it needs a frame. It needs to be further defined from the dense forest, about a second growth forest, and persuaded Mr. Bloedel that it needed some sense of containment. So then I recommended the Irish taxus that you see here, which was planted, I think, in the 1970s, early 70s. The experience is just so simple, it's almost spellbinding, because it's just totally unexpected to find this window to the sky, this opening in the dense forest. So then when I came back in the 70s, why, he showed me more. The garden that's right surrounding us now was designed by, I think his name was Kitaro Kubota. He worked here for quite a while and did this very elaborate Japanese garden that this guest house overlooks. So I was rather ginger about that, gingerly moving around these other remnant gardens, and I worked on the property, I think, 8 years then, and every summer, we would do a major move, a major project. We did one garden at a time, and I did do a master plan, but it was very sketchy, and we just worked our way through. As I say, came out every Thursday, had lunch with Mr. and Mrs. Bloedel, walked the property in the morning, thought about designing certain areas in the afternoons, and we did one project after another.